What's happening, guys? Let me know if you can hear me okay. How's it going? How's it going? Good morning. Okay, let's see here. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Good morning, folks. Hey, George, good morning. Dennis, good morning. Okay, all right, let's get the show on the road. What's happening, traders? Welcome to another live trading session. It's Emmanuel from Live Free Effects, and today we're in the charts. We're taking a look at gold as usual. It is 7:37, and there's already been some action in the market so far. It is Tuesday, and today is usually a higher expectation day, but December so far has been 50-50, right? And it makes sense because it's part of the holiday season, right? We're a couple of days from Christmas, pretty much less than 10 days away. So yeah, Merry Christmas, right, to those of you who celebrate Christmas holiday, and blessings to you and your family. Let's waste no time. Let's jump straight into it. Taking a look right now at gold. One of the most important aspects to our weekly breakdown is understanding who is currently in control of the market right now. And right now, gold is very, very close to our all-time high, and there's a good chance that we could see buyers this week make new all-time highs because we are, yeah, we're so close you can smell it. I think gold, we're going to be trading up towards the 5,000 range. That's something that I've been calling for quite some time now, and not just myself. I think a lot of people who do focus on gold understand that it's going to keep climbing, it's going to keep moving up. So right now, off of what we can see, buyers are currently in control. On the daily time frame here, both days, Sunday, Friday, and Monday, we had a little bit of a push to the upside. It was a failed rejection. So right now, we're seeing a bit of that, you know, bullish momentum struggling a little bit, whether sellers are going to try to grab further liquidity to the downside. We're going to see. But from a market structure standpoint, buyers are currently in control of price right now. The market is making higher highs, as you can see here, and higher lows, right? So it's pretty standard so far. We're going to go over to the 4-hour time frame just to get a little bit more insight here. On the 4-hour time frame, we have a large accumulation range to the left right here that price traded into on Friday and had a nice bounce, but we have failed to trade above. So this wouldn't be considered a distribution in full. But right here we have this accumulation zone that we're going to map out right now, and this area holds a lot of a lot of volume here, a lot of price stayed in this accumulation range for quite some time, which is why we have to pay attention to it. So coming into the market today, what can we expect? Yesterday, if you guys were in the market, there was a lot of bearish momentum. I got in on some pretty decent sell trade, and it was too good. It was too good to not take it. Silver Grid, good morning, good afternoon. NFB at 8:30, yes sir. Hey, good morning, champ. Ace, I believe, right? Um, okay, Xavier, I just caught that bullish move. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So yeah, right now we're just gonna go through our breakdown here. We're seeing a lot of momentum, right? Price is moving, aggressively to the upside. What can we expect? Right now we have this area of liquidity that the market is likely reaching for. We have this area if buyers continue to push to the upside, and we have this area right here which sellers are leaving behind. Going over to the 15-minute time frame here, we can pretty much see what the market is doing right now. There's a huge influx of liquidity that came into the market from 6:45, 7, and onwards, right? So our job now as we come into the market is we have to, we're coming into the market during the New York kill zone. So part of that is waiting for premium price, right? Um, yeah, if you were in the market earlier, right, you caught this move, right, like Xavier. Beautiful, but right now we're not going to jump head first into anything. We're going to watch and we're going to wait and we're going to be a bit more patient. So right here we have this area of liquidity that has been breached, And right here we have, eight, so 5 minute time frame, sorry. 5 minute time frame here, it's showing a bit more of that strength, a bit more of that push. And I think right now there's a good chance that we're going to be seeing a continuation to the upside with, let's see, right here, this would be technically the London low, or sorry, the London high, which is right here. So price already took out the London high, and it's already saying, hey, it wants to run, it wants to push up, and right now that's pretty much what we're seeing here. So we're seeing a little bit of that accumulation, and we're likely going to be seeing a little bit of that push to the upside here. And right now, this is it. So for me, I want to look to see if there's a way that we can get involved in this play before price absolutely takes off. So let's see. Let's get everything here. Okay, so we're seeing a bit of that push. Personally, I would love to see a little bit of a pullback if we can. Maybe get involved in the trade simply before the news comes out today. And because if we're going to be waiting for NFP to come out, then that's likely going to, let's see, I think my MT4 is stuck. Okay. All right. 1 second, guys. Interesting. Okay, just give me 1 second here. Okay. All right. Let me know if you guys can see me okay. Hear me all right? So right now, based on what we see now, there's a good chance that more buyers are likely going to come into the market, right? So over here, let's go right there. I want to get involved in a buy trade, but at the same time, I want to do so, while being patient as well, making sure everything is set up on our end. We could see some sort of pullback. This right here would be, we can get involved in this trade, but in terms of premium price, we would be chasing the market. So, yeah, let's give it a little bit of breathing room. I'm excited because the market's already moving. Right, we're coming into the market right now during the New York session, and we have some major news coming out today. Right now, the way the market is setting up, this is setting up for some major push, right? We've seen that huge candlestick. So there's a good chance that we can see a continuation to the upside, at least, to this, to some of these levels here. So two things can happen, right? We can either sit on the sidelines for now, just watch and wait while the market is currently doing its thing, right? And yeah, this is it. Or we can wait for after the news comes out. So right here, 740. I don't like to just jump into a trade right when I come into the market at 730 or 740, right? This time is mainly to come into the market and watch and be an observer. Let the market set up and let the market do its thing. So right now, by the looks of it, that's currently what's happening, right? The market is setting up. So we're gonna see, we're gonna see what happens. If we go over here to Forex Factory, we can see what we have coming into the market today. So right there, this is 8:30. We have, right, non-farm employment change coming out. We have unemployment rate. We have manufacturing PMI coming out. We have flash service PM. So there is a lot of news for the dollar today. Right, there is a whole bunch, exactly, there's a whole bunch of red folders coming out. So today, whoo, patience. That's the most important thing. You got to be patient and not push it. If the market gives us something like sick, clean, clear opportunity, this looks good. This looks good. But right now, we've grabbed this liquidity now up here. Right, so this area of liquidity has been breached, and yeah, the market can continue to move up to the upside. But as of right now, my advice would be, let's be a little bit of an observer here, just in case the market doesn't want to run. I'm tempted to kind of say, okay, let's go in here, place our stop loss, maybe at this low right there. in case price does continue to run, because um, that could be the one thing. But right now, I think, for the sake of just, keeping our cool, being patient, we're going to give the market a little bit of chance to just set up, do what it needs to do. The market has been moving since 6:45. So coming into the market right now, the job is not to run into run in and just be a buyer. As much as I would love to participate in the move, but we don't have premium price, right? Price hasn't made an effort to give us premium price, which would be, a bit on the lower side. So we'll see. We'll watch. Let this bearish momentum, fade out. See what this bearish momentum does. If sellers do end up coming into the market, possibly targeting this low and maybe, further areas. But if the market does break below this level, right, I would still definitely be a buyer. I think right now with what gold is doing, it's very clear that buyers want to dominate, especially with price taking out this high. And if we do spend time in this accumulation range, you just look for, an opportunity to take price to the upside. So right now, guys, we're going to be watching. We're going to be waiting. And yeah, so it's gonna be a volatile day. It's Tuesday. There's a lot um, of volume usually on Tuesdays, at least expected. And then when you now factor in the news, right? The bunch of red folders that we have coming in is a lot. Is a lot. So this is it, right? So for those of you who didn't see it before, yeah, we have a lot going on. And then on Wednesday, nothing, right? So we have some minor news coming out. And then back on Thursday, we have CPI, right? CPI is, to me, one of the most respected. If you're trading at 8:30, you should definitely be mindful of CPI, because CPI is the most volatile out of all of them, right? At least lately, right? At least lately. Normally, it packs the most punch. So CPI definitely, on CPI days, I just sit and wait. And today kind of feels like that. I think today we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be sitting, we're going to be waiting, and just letting the market do what it wants to do. Yeah, this is a technical breakdown right now in terms of a bias, right? We want to be a buyer, but right now there's a lot going on. So we're going to map out some areas of liquidity that price could possibly reach for, right? If sellers want to grab liquidity, right there. Now, in terms of to the upside, where can buyers, where are buyers reaching for? This is tricky, because we have this fair value gap right here, right? This is a massive candle. This shows a lot of strength. This shows a lot of momentum, right? So there's a good chance that sellers could, have that little push to the downside, right? And then, just have a run afterwards. But I'm expecting some sort of pullback, right? This was a pretty massive run from 7 o'clock to what, to pretty much now. So yeah, this is my take in terms of what the market is currently doing right now. And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay. Okay. Perfect. 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 We're also streaming live on YouTube as well on Tuesday. So let's see what happens today. But yeah, how you guys doing, guys? How you guys doing? How's your week been? Right? Has it been a profitable start to your week? Has it been what kind of week do you have? Right? Is it what kind of week you guys have? Yesterday was a good start. Yesterday was a good start. I think I had a nice a nice running trade. Made close to $8,000 with the volume. Right? That came into the market yesterday. The sell-off that took place. Let's see here. This was Monday. I believe this was This was the drop that took place yesterday. So from 8 a.m., boom, right? Sellers very much, dominated all the way till the end. Okay. Okay. Khadija took two trades yesterday, one win, one loss. Then I stopped because the second trade was a slight rule break. Okay, slight rule breaker, and I could tell I wasn't in the right headspace for it. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, hey, that shows discipline. That shows, yeah, that shows a lot of discipline and sticking to your rules. That's pretty much one of the most important things that you can do as a trader is to not push it. Know when to push it and know when to scale back. Know when to take a little bit of a pause. And if you can do that consistently, you're gonna be pretty good. You're gonna be pretty good. So right now we're seeing 805, right? This is we're bouncing off of this area of liquidity right here. We're bouncing off of this low. There's a good chance that we can run, price can run up definitely, and try to grab maybe this area of liquidity here. Maybe trade up towards this range. I think this could be an area, a nice target for the market. Let's see here. This would be about 50 something pep right there to the upside. So this is we're seeing price run up here, guys. I think for me, I'm gonna go in on this buy if we can get a nice clean close. So if we can get a nice clean close here, I will go in just in case the market is willing to run and give a bit of movement before the news comes out. But if it's not willing to do that, then I'm going to be watching and waiting, because otherwise we could want to see some sort of pullback. So 8:30, there's a lot of news coming out. As we start to get closer to 8:15, then you want to rule out any possibility. But between now and then, there is the possibility of seeing a lot more candle, a lot more momentum. So right now it's just a matter of watching and waiting and seeing what the market wants to do here. So right now we've made an attempt to test this high. We need to see at least a clear close. Otherwise, we're going to be seeing price grab this area of liquidity. So as we start to get closer to 8 a.m., the market is likely going to reveal what it wants to do. And right now it's just we're just waiting. We're waiting, nice and relaxed, nice and calm, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. December has been an interesting one. It's been pretty decent for the most part, but it hasn't been especially the New York session has been a little bit more of a later distribution. So if you're coming into the New York session at 8 a.m., right, most days, we're getting price moving closer to like 9:15, which isn't bad. It just means there might just be a little bit of adjustment. Your patience, increases a little bit, right? So you are not, getting into premature trades. So whether that continues, we're going to see. But today, the goal is to exercise a little bit of patience, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But ladies and gentlemen, give me a second here. I'm going to grab some coffee. I'll be right back. It's great. If it doesn't run, then I'll just wait until the news, right? If I get a chance to get a trade before the news, I'm gonna take that. But right now we do have that news coming out, and I want to see if the market is willing to give a little bit of a run up, and then kind of get that reset. So be mindful, right? Focus on managing your risk, right? Focus on that. But this is for me. If the market wants to run, great. If it doesn't want to run, then that's that's it. But if I can get out of the market before the news. This is pretty much what this play is going to be about. But for you, I would say, of course, your risk management is essential. Focus on maintaining your composure. And right now, I am, we're in our first execution. There's a little bit of time before the news comes out. 30 pep, and I'm gonna be, I'm pretty much gonna be out of this if the market is generous enough here, and to actually run just before the news here. So stop loss is gonna be right here. Let's see. So there's a good chance. Okay. So seems like the market right now is failing to take out this, take out this high here. And to me right now, I am in. As long as we start to get closer to the 8:15, market's currently 8 a.m. right now, so there's a good chance that okay, the market price wants to grab liquidity right here. So pretty much stop loss for me is right here. If the market continues to break below this level, then I'm likely going to be, my first execution is not going to be, a good one here. But if the market was going to run, I wanted to be a part of that. But it seems right now there's a good chance that the market may want to grab liquidity and continue to move to the downside. So my first execution is likely a wash, unfortunately. But this level is a sensitive one, and the market could just be grabbing liquidity to see if it wants to continue moving up. So I'm going to let this play out, and then, if this doesn't work, then I have two more shots, and then that's going to be pretty much it. But got in it right at the turnaround time, and sometimes this is it. But let's see what happens here. But as of right now, it looks like there's a good chance that the market is likely going to come down, further into this level, and yeah, that is it. That is it. Let's see. Sometimes you got to take the risk. It's worth for me if the market, because if I get a trade before before the news comes out, then I'm done for the day. I'm done for the day because the news can come out and it can be very volatile, very a lot of volatility. But in terms of outcome and where we're expecting price to move, does it change? No, not particularly. It doesn't change where we see the market moving to. It's just more of like right now, what buyers, what they want to do. So waiting for that pullback is still good. For me, I was aggressive. I'm aggressive. So if sometimes it's played out a lot because between now and the news, there's a lot that can happen. It's still 30 minutes before the news happens, right? So there still is a lot of momentum that's going to be generated in this time span. Yeah, so there's sometimes you get like 160 pips during this time, and then the news comes out, right? So yeah, but in the meantime, aggressive fight between buyers and sellers. Yeah, it's a little bit of an aggressive right now. Buyers are grabbing the liquidity below this low, right? So for me, I see, if they do continue, beautiful. I just see, the possibility of the market hitting this level here. So this is about 43, 42.99, right? So 42.99. This is going to be one of the major first target, but this is also an accumulation zone as well, minor accumulation zone that can definitely send sellers to the downside a bit more for sure. So right now on this trade with what the market is doing, there's likely a good chance that I'm going to get taken out on my first one, and then I'm just going to watch, and wait. But I'm expecting some sort of, volume to come into the market, between now and 8:30, and I would love to be on that right side, but hey, we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens. Yeah, this is the part where you want to keep your cool. You want to maintain your composure. You're in drawdown, so you're gonna feel the emotion twice as hard. And yeah, that's it. You feel it. You feel every bit of it. You feel every bit of it. But all you can do is focus on your game plan. If you execute a trade excitedly, feel. Uh, don't be too hard on yourself if you take a loss on it. Don't be sad about it if you were happy with your execution. So for me, with this particular one, um, it was more of a, okay, if the market is going to run before the news, boom, right? Could I wait for a pullback? Absolutely, right? But if the market actually wants to make a move, right? Because sometimes when we have a lot of news coming out, the market just it gives, and then the news comes out. There's a little bit of stalling happening. So right now I am in it, and hopefully to win it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here. Right now we are in drawdown. Let's take a look right here. You can kind of see that, right? Let's see. Okay. All right, folks. Okay, so we're in drawdown, seeing if the market is going to break above this high. If the market is willing to break above this high, then that is pretty much going to be, it's going to be clean. It's going to be very, 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 very clean. So, but no expectations. We have no expectations. If the market is going to give us some profit, great. If it's not, then it's not. But the fact that the market is traded at least halfway through this range is a pretty interesting sign. It's just a matter of whether more buyers can actually, gather enough momentum. So my main thing right now is seeing where price can run off. This is also, if you focus on support and resistance, an interesting support level where the market is traded multiple times. And yeah, this is it. This would be the first swing point that I would be expecting price to potentially test. But as of right now, guys, there is, the market is accumulating. The market's doing its thing. So we're gonna watch and wait. If you're sitting on the sidelines, that's absolutely great. Whatever your game plan is, stick to it today, right? That's the most important thing. Stick to your game plan. Don't, focus on great risk management. Don't push it until you have clear directions in terms of where the market wants to go. So for me, my game plan today is, I'm not afraid to test if, from an execution standpoint, if I see, okay, the possibility of the market moving somewhere, I know that, I'm giving myself a bit of grace, with my execution. I'm not trying to have my one shot, one kill. It's just, that's not the market that we're currently in right now. So if the market is going to move, great, I want to be a part of it, right? If it shows me it's not willing to move, then I reset, right? So right now we're up around $1,700 on this particular trade here. And okay, let's make this a little bit bigger. So right here, I'm going to look to take, the minute we hit 30 pip, I'm going to be taking half of my position off, and that's going to be, very close to about, okay. So let's see here. So we're walking towards the main target right here, which is here. And as you guys know, I don't set a take profit, right? Just in case the market is extremely volatile and wants to give me more. And a lot of the time, a first take profit with gold is at like, 70 pip, right? Let me see here, just so I'm not. So right now we're pretty close. We're pretty close to that range, right? So this right here, we're very, very close to 30 pip. And like I said, this is where I'm going to look to take something if the market is generous enough to move in that favor. So right now we're very close. We're very close. It's just a matter of what the market wants to do. Price took out this liquidity down here, and it's also proceeded to take out the liquidity right here. So the likelihood that buyers want to come into the market right now is quite high. So for me now, it's just a matter of putting myself in a position where I can pay myself for my time, and even if I walk away with $1,800, $1,900, in the meantime, before the news, I'm pretty happy with that. So we just need to see a little bit more of an extension to the upside. But if the market wants to grab the high and grab the low, then it's not going to be an exciting day, really. It's gonna be a shit one. But we're so close. I think the market just needs to move up 2 more pep, 3 more pep, above this high, and I can take something off the table, move my stop loss to break even. So, so right now that's pretty much it here. So there we go. So we're seeing a little bit of that action. Market is doing this thing. Come on, come on, gold. Okay. Okay. I've taken something off the table there, and I think the market is. I'm gonna move my stop loss to break even. So right now, if the market continues to run, great. It continues to run. So stop loss right now is placed right at the entry point. So we can kind of see the entry point right here is 42.94, and then our stop loss is 42.94.88. This one's 89. So if I get taken out from here, that's fine. Like I got 30 pep. I paid myself. If the market doesn't want to run, it doesn't want to run. The market didn't exactly hit 30 pep, but it hit pretty much 28. It gave 28, and I learned from last week, right? You got to learn from your mistakes. You got to learn from your losses, right? And last week, it was very similar, same thing. The market gave us 30, like pretty, I would say like 32, to be honest. And I was like, maybe it can run, and ended up having a shit session, the rest of it. So now the most important thing is paying yourself, taking something, for the time. And if the market continues to run before stopping you out, great. If the market doesn't, then that's okay. There's going to be plenty of days where the market actually runs. But the most important thing right now is just moving, protecting your capital, bringing something in, and then protecting your capital. That's the game. That's pretty much what it is. So it's pretty much it, guys. This is pretty much it. Let's see here. All right. There's a good chance I'm gonna get taken out at break even now, unless I'm like having a really lucky day. But there's a pretty good chance that the market is going to tap me out there. But that's okay. All right, we're still gonna watch. We're still gonna wait and see what happens with the news. But once you pay yourself, don't be afraid to just protect your capital. The game is capital preservation. That's the name of the game. Protecting your capital, making sure that this is it. Let's see here. This is it. George, wise people typically learn from your mistakes. Smart move on taking something off the table, grab something as well. Yes, we've always been very focused on paying ourselves, right? We always take something off the table, especially at 30 pep, because the market it's not always going to give you what you want, right? So you have to have a minimum expectation or minimum objective that you have, that you're looking for prices to reach for, and that is easily achievable, right? So that to me has always been something that increases my win rate, right? and allows me to get home run trades because then I leave half my position on the line. And it works for some people. For some people, if you're trading with a smaller lot, you can feel like, okay, why am I going to pay myself $50 when I can, have maybe $200 at the end of the trade, right? But that mentality is driven, by greed because the market's not always going to give you $200 at the end of the trade. So what got taken out here, closed out what, $1,600 on this right now before the news, and I'm pretty happy with that. You know, I'm gonna watch and wait. I think right now it's 8:16, 8:15. Sorry, it's 8:16. So it's important to just let the market do its thing right now. I wouldn't be surprised with the news if the craziness starts to happen. So my main focus was to kind of see what price was willing to do right now before the news, and we got something. We got 28 pep for it, and there's a good chance we can see a continuation to the upside, especially with this price action sequence that we have, with sellers grabbing the liquidity below this level and then trading above and grabbing liquidity above this high. Under normal circumstances, this is a safe zone, right? We shouldn't see the market come back down here again, right? But you don't know, right? You don't know. You don't know. Okay. Hi, E. Did you take the trade yesterday after it broke the London low? Yes, I did. I did. I took I took the trade yesterday. I think a lot of you guys posted it. But yes, Monday I took that trade. Monday I took that trade, which I talked about, earlier on in our session here. But yeah, it was a nice runner. It was a nice runner. Yesterday was a little bit choppy. We had a bit of accumulation. We were in that accumulation range for quite some time, right? This range, and then this was the London low, I believe, right? So right here. So if you came to the New York session yesterday, this was pretty much the perfect accumulation and distribution. All right, this was it. So right there. So right there. All right. So okay. Okay. Yeah. So right now we're gonna watch and we're gonna wait. We're gonna see what the market has in store for us today. I'm heavily bullish, but I'm gonna just so I don't confuse anybody. This trade, we're no longer in it. We have closed out. We've taken something off the table, and that's it. That's it. That is it. So let's see what happens. So we got about 12 more minutes before the real move of the day starts to happen, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Silver Grid, maybe they reset the algorithm recently when CME had a blackout. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they ever reset the algorithm, because it's always the same. It's always the same. That is a question I wouldn't have an answer to. It is above my pay grade. I would love to be like, yeah, man, that's totally what happened. But fuck, do I know? All right, guys. So, one shot, one kill. We came to the market today. We've executed a trade. We didn't exactly get our 30 pep minimum standard, but we got relatively close to it. So, like I said, under normal circumstances, we can still see buyers continuing to move to the upside. But given the news, it's better to be conservative in terms of taking something, protecting our bottom line. Uh, but right now, I think that this is our first objective here, and the market is trading towards that range, right? So right there, first TP, and I think once the market hits this, this is a swing point, right? For those of you who don't understand the concept of a swing point, is every high and low is made up of four candlestick formation. One that is for this particular low, one that is lower. You can say two that is higher and to the left, and to the two that is higher to the right. Or it can just be a three candle formation as well. That's also fine. So those are swing points, and they do carry, especially in this formation, they do carry a significant punch. And when you don't have an area of liquidity and you see these levels, just place it at the low. There you're going to see the precision that the market hits it with, and then also kind of respects it as well. So yeah, so right now in terms of the trade that we took, it was a nice one. It was a clean one. We're seeing more buyers coming to the market now. Am I mad that I got taken out before the market ran? No, not particularly. I already made some profit for today. I'm happy with that. It's the risk you take for taking something off the table. It's the risk you take for paying yourself. But I believe that as a trader, you should never be mad if you get a chance to take something off the table. So let's see here. This is a swing point that we identified, right? First TP. Let's see how the market respects it, right? If the market does respect it. But right now we're seeing, the first candle hit it precisely, right? And let's see if we can continue to push up, or if most likely, see some sort of, push to the downside as well here. So it's 8:30, 8:20, 8:22. All right, I said 8:30. We're gonna be seeing some action pretty soon. Okay, market is coming in heavy, right? So there's a lot of Jesus Christ. You see this? This is why I took the trade. This is why I took the trade, because the market has a tendency before the news to move very aggressively. Like it has that tendency to move up. Like it's sometimes it's gonna run 100 pips, 80 pips, boom, boom, boom. Look at this. Somebody look at this. It's crazy. It's crazy. But when you show up consistently every single day, you trade the same market, you trade the same pairs, you notice the exact same things over and over again. The market becomes less. It becomes less. Unpredictable, right? That's the word. So more predictable, it becomes more predictable, right? You're able to anticipate certain things over. So, for some of you, it might have been like, oh my God, this is, me getting involved in that buy trade was a little bit of a risky move. But it's just seeing over that the market has that tendency to move right before a major news. So right now, our main game plan, because it's too late to get involved in any sort of buy opportunity. We have the news coming down in 6 minutes. It's in your best interest to sit and to watch and to wait. Is anybody still holding the buy from the trade that we took previously? Yeah, is anybody still having? Is anybody still? Let's see. Would appreciate more in-depth videos and accumulation and distribution. We have, we've had a lot of, what do you call it? We've made a lot of videos on the channel. Check it out, right? Check it out. I would highly recommend. We have a few videos on the channel. We've gone in depth, in the community. We also have, price action, or mastering the story of price action, which we go even more in depth as well. But those are like just reserved for community. But we also, in our live sessions as well, most of the trades that I take will either be a price action market structure break or accumulation and distribution. All right, bro, what happened to your voice? It's the morning, man. My voice is cracking. You know, it's cracking. I need to get some breakfast in me. What do you think about the market in December? I think the market in December is okay. It's fine. You gotta understand the people who run the world don't care about Christmas. The entire thing with Christmas is a transactional holiday, especially if you live in the West, right? It's about money. I just spent a few $1,000s on Christmas Christmas presents. So it pumps a lot of money into the system, and what moves the market? Money, liquidity. So December sometimes is one of the more volatile months, right? There's a lot of volume. I remember last December, the day before Christmas, I was like, whoa. I took more of that time period off, but we haven't had a slow December since, I would say, before the pandemic, right? Over here, Khadija, the imbalance to the left was also good, or confluence. Yes, I'm still in it. Hey, that's nice. That's nice. That's beautiful. Well, right now, if you executed, the same trade, and you guys manage your trade how you see fit, I took some, and first initial push is very strong to the buy. Uh, and more buyers are coming in. More buyers are coming in. I just might be walking away with my, $1,600 for the day, and that's it. Cause now I'm not, yeah, this is what it's exactly what we wanted. So it was good. The market moved, the market did its thing, and this is freaking crazy. This is 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 where the game gets you. You're like, man, if I hadn't taken something off the table, would I still be in it? But at the end of the day, you can't think like that. You can't have that mentality, because it's just, anything can happen. We could have seen the opposite move, but this is absolutely, beautiful. The market is not, Jesus Christ. So, yeah, from this move, right? Prices just, that's 140 pip, right? So that's a lot of volume. That's a lot of volume, right? That's a lot of volume. I opted out too early. I mean, no, there's not. Yeah, me too. Me too. This would have been probably a 5 to 10K, day. But at the end of the day, we don't know. We live in a land of uncertainty, right? So you can be like, man, I took something off the table when I could have taken so much more. But at the same time, last week we held a trade, and what did we get for it? We got a loss, right? So you have to think with that mindset, think with that perspective, right? And of course, this is this is it. This is it. This is it. This is crazy. So now the market is reaching for this high, 43.18. So if you're still holding your trade, you're making money. Great. For me, I'm grateful for what the market gave me today. I'm grateful for it. Yesterday was a big day. Yesterday the market ran. It was a very, very lovely day. So today, if I get just a little bit from this trade because I wanted to protect my capital, then that's totally fine. And if you take a look at this news and your main focus wasn't to focus on risk management, protect your capital, then I'm not. You're more aggressive than I am. So even though our trade execution was aggressive, trade management was a bit more on the conservative side. The same way I always play it. So this is it. This is it. This is it. Yeah. So buy is definitely dominated today. I think for me right now, we came into the market, our one trade, it was a hit. If you held it, boom. If you took out the same got out the same time as I got out, then you took a little something off the table. And yeah, that's it. But right now, guys, we are seeing buyers come in, and there might be some more opportunities later on. But right now, what we've seen in terms of um, right here, so yeah, so non-farm employment change came out positive for the dollar. Core retail sales positive, but everything else was negative. Unemployment rate was negative. And yeah, we have flash manufacturing PMI coming out, and that is pretty much the last of it. It's pretty much the last of it, ladies and gentlemen. So right now we have seen. Let's go over to the hourly time frame. Take a look at the price action. All right, from what we can see here. So right now the market is likely going to be reaching for this high, and yeah, this is the next level, or we can see some sort of pullback before price takes that level out. If we go back to the 30-minute time frame, yeah, there's a good chance that we're going to be taking out this high, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a pullback, because we've seen a pretty significant run to the upside with no pullback at all. So we've seen a 400 pip run with no pullback, right? Or very minimal pullback, right? Yeah. Hey, some of you guys on the YouTube side, you're still holding your trade. Beautiful, right? That's fantastic. All right. Silver grid, 9:30. I might reverse this whole move because we're in, yeah, premium now. Price been moving since London, absolutely. So right now we're seeing a little bit of that pullback, but I think, to me, this is, to be a buyer right now is risky. Is risky because we've seen too big of a push to the upside. So there's a strong likelihood we could see either a pullback or a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of consolidation before the news happens, before anything happens again. So I probably wouldn't do it at your own risk. Focus on your capital management, right? Focus on your risk management, and but don't let your emotions drive your decision making. Don't let FOMO drive you. Don't the fear of missing out, or the fear of feeling like you missed out on this opportunity to now make a decision. So if you think that, okay, the selling momentum is dying down and you can anticipate buys coming in and you can time it properly, great. But in the meantime, I would say right now we've seen a huge push to the upside, right? News came out, we're getting a little bit of that pullback, right? If this is the low, as the market starts to maybe make attempts to take out this high, that could possibly be a play for higher objectives, right? That's probably the best way to play it. But outside of that, I think I'm going to let it be for today. Take my little, take my little 28 pep and walk away. But ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is pretty much it. Is anybody watching the let's see, the Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua fight that's coming up in this weekend? I'm not one for the Jake Paul fight, but what's the just before I hop off here, because I've been having a debate, with my boxing coaches and whatnot, and before I even share my thought process, because yeah, I forgot about that. Definitely gonna catch it. It's an exhibition. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Anthony Joshua is going to win? Jake Paul can likely win. Is the fight rigged? Is the fight not rigged? What are your thought process? May I ask, what is NQ? Nasdaq, right? S&P. ES is S&P, right? E-mini is S&P, right? Is that it? Right? No. Yes, yeah, S&P, yeah, S&P 500, yeah. Okay, perfect. AJ better win because that will not be a good look otherwise. I mean, the thing is, it won't be a good look. Okay, people are already starting to not take AJ seriously, so he needs this. Rick, for sure, thank you. Yeah, so I'm thinking Anthony. I love Anthony Joshua. I think Anthony. He's definitely. I would put him in the top five of boxing. And Jake Paul, I've kind of like Jake Paul. He's a YouTuber. Uh, you can but he trains hard now, right? He trains hard. He's parring with some heavyweight guys, but mastery. When you're going against guys who dedicate their entire life to a game, to a sport. AJ, has been doing it for a long time. I don't know if he was doing it since he was a kid, but he's certainly a monster. And what he did to Francis Ngannou, to me, is just like, well, like it doesn't make sense to be, yeah. So AJ, good luck. I miss real boxing social media. Okay, yeah, I miss. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, Jake Paul now has a big. He has a big, just as big of a market as the actual boxing, um, the boxing league, right? Because he can kind of now call out some of the biggest fighters in the world, and they will fight him. Because he's bringing the same pay, the same promotion, the same marketing as most high level guys, right? So personally, for me, I think I'm going to put some money on Jake Paul. Just to go to say I love Anthony Joshua, but I'm going to put some money on Jake Paul because yeah, I think that I won't be surprised if he beats him. Is he gonna do it? Like, is he gonna do it? I don't know. I don't know. But I hope AJ wins. But I think based on what I see, there's a good chance that Jake Paul, because it just doesn't make sense. It's gonna be an underdog story, and he's going to be the underdog. Right now with gold, we're looking pretty good again. Once we can see a clean break above this level here, a nice close, then it could look good for more bullish movements, right? Okay, Silver Grid. Then they're trying to line up AJ and Tyson Fury next year. Basically, just business move, not real fights. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be good, right? I think AJ, I would have AJ on that. But I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if AJ is just taking, a huge pay to fight Jake Paul, and I don't know. I want to say to lose, but it's like I don't know. I love AJ. I love the game of boxing, but I think the matchup just doesn't make sense. I even feel like Mike Tyson at his old age, could have beaten Jake Paul. But a lot of people, nah. Because the thing is, when you've been doing something for such a long time, you can literally, it's like breathing to you. Like, and I saw Mike Tyson training, hitting the bag. Yeah, like it's I don't know, but we'll see. We'll talk a little bit more about it before the week is up. Uh, that's a safe bet. Joshua hasn't been the same since the knockout, and that's the thing, right? It's not like Anthony Joshua hasn't had multiple losses. He's had multiple losses, and I'm pretty sure for this fight, he's making probably his biggest payday. He can make a lot of money in boxing, and he's made a lot of money in boxing, but I think he's making a pretty substantial amount, whether it's his biggest payday or one of his biggest paydays. Um, so I'm not much for sports betting, but I will throw in something that I am happy to lose, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay, yeah, the Tyson fight was rigged. Yeah, I feel the same way too, but It's funny because it's 50-50. All right, some people feel like it's not rigged. Some people feel like it's rigged. So, yeah, that's pretty much where we're all sitting at right now. So we'll see. It's definitely for the bag. It's definitely okay. Well, yeah, completely rigged. Well, if it's completely rigged, it's like we might as well, profit from it. So either way, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It might end up as a draw, right? Fuck. I mean, having a draw with Anthony Joshua. I don't know. I don't know. But either way, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys. I am done for the day. We'll be back here again tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. Eastern for the New York Session Kill Zone. Wishing you guys a very profitable day. Till next time, I hope you're out there living free. God bless. Peace.